Welcome to the program. I'm Tracy Bowden. Those stories shortly, but first to Queensland, where more mass evacuations are taking place as the flood crisis continues. Emergency services are now focusing on the towns of Bundaberg, Emerald and Rockhampton, where river levels are yet to peak. The Queensland Premier, Bligh, has kick-started a disaster relief fund with a $1 million donation, and the federal government has matched it. The town of Theodore is deserted after its residents were airlifted to safety. The flooding has reached record levels there, but the swollen Dawson River is still rising, increasing concerns for the community's future. Annie Guest reports from central Queensland.
20-year-old John Horton was born and raised in Theodore and can't believe he has to go. But his home, his car and most of his belongings are underwater.
Yeah, just devastating, eh? It was a bloody disgrace. I went there, I don't know, 5:30 the other morning and it was, I don't know, ankle deep. And then I went back about 11 o'clock or something. She was up knee deep, fridges, freezers, all sorts of shit just bobbing around the house.
The young mine worker had just spent his life savings setting up a new home with his girlfriend.
We just pretty well bought all new furniture, just everything. We just done up the whole house, so yeah, 15 grand maybe.
Despite being reluctant to leave, John Horton has been helping emergency workers manage some of the animals as they're prepared for evacuation.
I haven't slept for a fair while now. I'll get an hour here and there or get something, and I haven't eaten. I had a burger this morning since 9 o'clock Monday night, so.
Also on hand through the evacuation has been the long-time local doctor and medical superintendent of the hospital, Bruce Chater. But he too has suffered because of the record flooding hitting Theodore, with his home and practice built up over 32 years, waist deep in water.
It's heartbreaking, really, because we have put a lot of effort in. We've probably we've probably had one of the best practices you'd find in the country, with an X-ray and everything, and it's gone under, and the other things.
Get a tourniquet in here.
And like many out here, Dr Chater doesn't have insurance.
We never got around to doing it, and flood insurance was always horrendously expensive in the past, so no one ever took it out. So yeah, you just start again.
Have you got on a registered yet?
Margaret Dale has lived in Theodore for all of her 66 years. She saw the last major flood when she was 10 years old, but nothing prepared her for this.
We didn't ever think that it would come to this. We thought that we would be able to, live it out and find higher ground within the town. We didn't think we'd have to move out like this.
It's the second time this year flooding has ravaged cotton crops around Theodore. The last record-setting flood here was in 1956, but this time the Dawson River has gone higher and it's still rising. Beyond the helicopter pad in the main boulevard, the streets of Theodore are eerily empty. The community is like a ghost town. Most of its residents have been evacuated to nearby Mowra, and they have no idea how soon they can return home. At the evacuation centre provided by a mining company in Mowra, Margaret Dale and her husband John are reflecting on their upheaval.
I'm feeling really sad at the moment because I've been separated from my dogs, and I just don't know what the future holds, really.
Not just now, but I think in a week's time I'll be pleased I'm not in Theodore. That what's coming down those rivers, mate. I think this is the wisest move.
Elsewhere too, homes are being evacuated, with the next big flooding events expected in Bundaberg, Rockhampton and later Emerald. The Premier, Bligh, cut short her holidays to tour Bundaberg.
Well, it's absolutely clear this is a devastating event for the people of Bundaberg and the Burnett region. This river is set to peak at somewhere around 7.5 metres. At that level, it will be bigger than the flood in the 1950s. So there's a lot of people going to be hurt by this event. Our heart goes out to everyone who's been affected.
The state government has also announced and contributed $1 million to a flood appeal.
Today I can announce that the Australian government will match that donation with $1 million.
The floods are expected to cost more than $6 billion in lost exports and damage. In areas further south, some people are starting to return home in Warwick and in Dalby on the Darling Downs. But despite all the rain they've had, residents have had to limit their water use in Dalby, thanks to a damaged water treatment plant. Meanwhile, back in Mowra, the Dales are worrying about the future of their hometown of Theodore. John Dale fears it could take 3 decades to recover.
Well, one of the cotton growers told me he'll be back 30 years, and I think the town might be too. That's if there's a town left in a week's time. So, we've got to wait and see.
Annie Guest reporting there from central Queensland.